everyone. How you doing? This is Glenn Glasper, affectionately known as Mr. Dollar Out of a Dime, and this is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show. I'm your host, and I am going to be talking. This is where we share real life real estate situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. And I have with me today Miss Chantelle Owens, Miss MJ. We're going to talk about MJ, y'all. We're going to talk about MJ. MJ is a beast. Yes. And then we have Miss Alexia with us today. We're going to be talking about tax lien investing. Yes. Talking about the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. Ain't they fly? Look at they got their stuff going on here. It's going to be an awesome show today. So do us a favor. Go ahead and share this with your, share this in your news feed. Yes. Share this with your friends. Share with everybody that you possibly can, because we're going to be talking about some serious stuff. One thing I want to make sure on a programming note, for those of you that are watching on my main page or my personal page, I want to make sure you guys go and follow us on the Real Life Real Estate Investing main page or the Real Life Real Estate Investing business page, because that's where we're going to be going live from here on out. It's actually starting probably next week. I'll be waiting to hear from our producer on when we're going to do that. But I want to make sure our audience follows us to the Real Life Real Estate Investing page, and follow us at Real Life Real Estate Investing on Instagram, so you guys can watch it over there. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's talk about the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. I almost feel like y'all these are the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp angels. So get y'all pose in y'all silhouette. And we still gonna talk about MJ. Yeah. We still gonna talk about
we
MJ.
more like beasts.
Oh yeah. Listen. I want to really get into that. Okay. What y'all do and how y'all get all that done. So let's start with you, Chantelle. Okay. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how you get it done. I mean, because you do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes.
I thought we were doing stuff.
So I am Chantelle Owens, and how I get it done is my team.
Oh yeah.
But basically, we are tax lien investors, and investing in tax liens, you do have to be a beast, because it is a lot of due diligence all at one time. So like a regular investor who's used to looking at one property at a time, whereas we look at 400 within a 2-week span of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, and you have to be a beast to do that. You talking about beast and due diligence. What we were talking about earlier is when y'all go do y'all due diligence and pulling up to people's houses and stuff like that. we ain't gonna play no elbows, but
Yes, well, Alexia probably could tell the story best, because she had an incident that happened recently.
Oh, I did. So what we have to remember is that these are people's homes, or neighborhoods that people live in, and you're conducting your business where people are living. But I was, getting information, so I was taking a photo of a particular piece of property, and a vehicle pulled up behind my vehicle to block me in. And then a gentleman gets out.
We in the driveway?
Where it was, it's not exactly the driveway. It's like a bunch of townhouses, and there are a bunch of different parking spots, so it's not a driveway.
Oh, okay.
But I can't get out now. So he's blocked me in, and he walks to the passenger side with his gun out and cocked.
Wow.
And he tells me, well, I was just about to fire you up. And I guess he had an incident where someone broke in his house a couple days prior to, and he thought that I was coming back to get the rest of the stuff. So
little old you coming back to get the rest of that.
And then had the nerve to ask for her phone number.
Oh, wow.
And he sure did.
Since you ain't here to rob me, let me holler.
Let me get them digits.
Right.
Yes, and so that's why MJ is such a beast.
Yeah. So MJ stays strapped. So
And that's how I do, guys.
you catch her in them streets. No, I'm not. I ain't say you supposed to do all that.
All the time. Yeah, all the time.
You catch her in them streets, better know she ain't slipping. So let's talk about now. I'm gonna say, somebody tell me, real life real estate investing is tax lien investing. That's what somebody said to me. I was slightly offended by it, but it does have a point to it, because you don't have a mortgage. You don't buy real estate with tax liens with a mortgage. You basically pay cash, right?
Yes.
So tell me, how does that, in your opinion, how does that separate those of us that are just the regular old real estate investors.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, we gotta get funded and all that. How
Right.
does that separate? What's the difference, would you say, or the major differences beside the mortgages?
Well, I would say just the mortgage piece alone, it because I've done every other aspect of real estate prior to getting in tax lien, I can compare the two.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're able to own real estate free and clear, it's just like a whole paradigm shift in
Absolutely.
what you plan to do with that property and how you can do with that property.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's the biggest difference. But just the difference between the two types of investing, I would say the biggest thing is it's a lot more rigorous. The due diligence is rigorous, the bidding on the auction, and then just what you do after you obtain the property. So you have to like sit on it. And so most people,
right.
because they're used to investing in a different way, they have a trouble with that concept of sitting on it for a year.
Yeah.
And so, but once you get past that year, you have a pipeline. So you never feel that year anymore. We have properties, I don't know how many, but I would say at least 6 properties that need rehabbing. And we're just like waiting to get to that process. So,
Wow.
yeah.
hope
And then
I
we
have that
just picked
problem
up
someday.
6 more. So,
When you say, I don't know how many properties I have.
I know.
That's a thing. That's something else. But that's a good thing, though. I mean, I know we talked before, and we were trying to, find out when we could buy some of your properties from you. No, I keep everything.
I'm
Wanna
stingy.
sell one?
We do sell one every blue moon.
Oh, okay. But that's good, though. I mean, because you're in a position to hold on to them. You don't
Right.
have those holding costs that what we
Right.
have in many cases. As investors, we have holding costs where we got to
Right.
pay the monthly payment, depending on, of course, how we do get the funds and all that.
We do have holding costs. They're just not as big as what yours would be.
Right.
Yeah, so we do have to keep the property up to code. We have to secure it, that type, and keep the lawn up. So it is minimal.
Right. I want to ask about what are they called? The people that put the steel things on the windows. I forgot what they're called.
The steel things on the window.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to
When
that.
they board them up,
Yeah.
the carriage bolts?
Yeah. You ever had to do any of that?
Yeah, we have to do that all the time.
Oh, you have to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know we were. The reason I asked about that because we were buying a property that they had those on the windows, and the person that owned the property had to pay to get those taken off before we could get inside. And I was like, well, we offered to pay for it, and then she did some research and she wanted more for the property. I'm like, wait a minute, we're paying your taxes,
Right.
We're paying for these things, so that's a part of the lien that the city puts on the house as well, right?
Well, no, it's not a part of the lien, but what it's a part of is that the county requires the property still to be kept up to code. And so what happens is a lot of these properties are vacant, and so the windows end up being busted out. So you have the option to go in and board them up, but you have to board it up to code. And the carriage bolt is the way you board it up to code. Because most people want to just screw it in, it doesn't, so it has to fit the window, and it has to use the carriage bolt, so the other windows inside have to be open. And then you put a bar behind there and screw the carriage bolts through. And so no one can access that property. That's why you had to pay somebody to get it
I know
off.
how to take it off myself. No,
Yeah, you have to be on the inside to take it off.
Oh yeah.
The way they're made. That's why they're made like that.
Wow, that's something else. So tax lien investing. How long have you been doing that?
I have been doing tax lien investing since 2008, really 2009. So in 2008, I had a property that went into the tax sale from being a flipper. So I had properties that I was actually holding. I was holding them in an adjustable rate mortgage, and then the market crashed. And so then I couldn't refinance. The rates adjusted. The mortgages were too high.
Yeah.
So they ended up foreclosing. So I had a property that went into the tax sale. And when I redeemed it, I said, this person paid $2,100 for a property that was worth $89,000. That I had paid $139,000 before the market crashed.
Wow.
So I was like, I really need to figure out what that person did. And so I just started researching, and I reverse engineered the process, and I haven't looked back. Because once you get into tax lien investing, you're not going to want to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Watch out, we coming next year. Yeah, we coming next year. I did a couple tax liens years ago. And you're right. My biggest issue is I didn't want my money sitting that long. I'm like, I can't wait. Like, can I get my money now? Anybody pay me? Just somebody pay me. and I had to wait the whole year, and I got my money back eventually. The person actually eventually paid. Yeah. I got my 20%. So it was good, but that was the biggest issue I had. Like being a person that buys, fixes, and flips. You want to do it as quickly as possible. And I didn't want to have my money tied up, but knowing what I know now, I would definitely do it again. So it makes sense that being in a situation like that, you turn that around to be a win for yourself.
Yes.
And now you're teaching people how to do
yes.
that, and that's a major thing. So who are these? Who is MJ and Alexia? What?
This is my team. This is they're my street team, my office team. They make it possible.
They seem more like just a team. Like I came in here, they had like 20 pieces of paper they was writing on. I'm like, we got laptops. That they ain't typing on that. I mean, they really handwriting. They was into it.
Like that sometimes. Like that.
Which is funny because like when we're at meetings and I'm like, do you have your pen and paper to take some notes? She's like, oh no, I got my phone. But yeah, so they MJ is my right hand man. She's my office manager, and she leads. Yes, one man. She leads my street team in terms of the due diligence. So, and Alexia, she is an amazing intern. She's there to do whatever we ask her to do, and she's getting it in.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's important to have people like that, and as we discussed many times, during the team theme that we've been doing on the show, it's important to have people that catch your vision and that will follow you doing what you do. Because many people don't believe in a lot of times what people are doing. You need to build that team around you. It's important to have people that believe in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So congratulations, you get to work
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
She wouldn't let me be an intern.
Yes.
I'm grateful.
I offered to come and sweep the floor. She was like, no.
Select you.
Yes.
But no, it's good though. I mean, and that's how a lot of times those of us that are doing well now in real estate, and I've been doing real estate for quite a while. That's how I got started, offering to help somebody else. Like, what is it that you need? Like, can I just come and take your trash out? If you just show me what you're doing. But unfortunately at the time nobody gave me an opportunity. So a lot of it I had to learn on my own. And a lot of it was trial and error. And I had a lot more errors, but I still tried. But it's very important that there are opportunities now. Now what we're doing today with social media and a lot of stuff that we have going on, we're able to offer those opportunities to people.
Yes.
That's how I'm building my team. I have. I don't even know if I can call them interns anymore. They boss me around more than anything.
Yes.
He said to me, signal, nah, keep your hands off the table. All right. But it's very good to have people like that on your team because we have blind spots.
Yes.
As an individual, as I've heard many times before, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. I had to think about that. Wow, that makes sense. If you're in the frame, you can't see yourself. We're going to let that set for a minute. But it's good because you have people to show you, listen, hey, you missed this over here, you missed this over here, and we can get this done this way, and maybe it works that way or maybe it doesn't, but it's still good to have a different perspective, so you can, try it out that way. And we have somebody that commented. I was trying to see what they said, but we'll go back to it. So, you said, so MJ, how did you get started?
Well, I've known Chantelle for about 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Since you were a baby, huh?
Yeah, she's a serial entrepreneur. So
you're like only 15 now, don't you?
Black girl magic. So I've known her for pretty much the majority of my life, and I've worked with her in every capacity that she's offered me, from barbershops to she was a barbershop owner. Barbershops to really anything. I work. I'm sorry, y'all. We gotta get the inside, get the real nitty gritty.
MJ's a barber too.
Really?
Yeah, I used to cut her shop.
I
I used to, I was an apprentice under her for about 3 years. But I actually worked with her. I was working in property management as an assistant manager of an apartment complex. So I was already into property management, but she's been doing real estate my whole life anyway. So I started interning with her in 2015. And that was same thing Alexi is doing, the real grind, the unpaid internship. You gotta get it in and get the information and get the knowledge. But that's exactly what she gave me. She gave me the knowledge, she gave me the education, she gave me the training, she gave me everything I needed to do, and she really cultivated my business that I have now. Mm-hmm. And she gave me the ability to own my own property. Wow. We still we have joint ventures. We're able to. She's put me in a position to where I'm able to train interns, and I'm able to help other people and do business with investors and be able to bring more to the table. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Definitely. So if y'all want to intern, most definitely Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp.
Serious inquiries only.
Make sure you say that.
Yes, serious.
You got some folks that are
interns out there.
Oh, okay. You got some folks that are. Do we want to let them in?
I'm gonna leave that up to you. It's your show.
Yeah, we can let them in.
We can let her see how she looks when she's coming in late.
Oh. So we're gonna talk about it. Come on in.
I like that.
This the one that's supposed to be here.
Actually called
How you doing?
Yes. Hi.
Good to see you. Good to see you. This the one that's supposed to be here in 9 minutes, 20 minutes ago. Yeah, so tell us who you are and what you do.
Jamila Shakir, and
Okay.
I am an intern with Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp, and this has been absolutely amazing for me. I have been in a whole different industry most of my life, and when I thought about going into the real estate industry, it was kind of scary. And I talked to Chantelle and went to her class and her training, and it has really given me the confidence and the tools to just launch into the real estate industry and just fly. So
Really?
I'm very excited. I just purchased my first property yesterday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we were slaying up there on the courthouse.
Yes,
steps.
indeed. Yes, indeed. That's good stuff. Were you with the master? So
I know. I absolutely know that. Yeah.
That is
absolutely.
great. That's great.
Actually, every single one of Chantel's interns bought a property yesterday's sale.
Yes.
Really?
Every single one. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a testament of
Yes,
that's a testament of what you can get done. You know, when you follow somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, and I'm. This is actually where I'm supposed to say. Am I supposed to say that part right? I want to make sure we tell you guys that to make sure you go and follow us on the RealLife Real Estate Investing fan page, so that we can make sure you guys are on the show with us, because we're going to be going there exclusively in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be shooting the show from the RealLife Real Estate Investing fan page in the next couple of weeks. So we don't want you guys to miss the show. And also want to make sure I tell you guys about our Master the Money Game workshop. That's going to be January 20th at the Rome Buckhead location. That's January 20th. So check us out at masterthemoneygameworkshop.com. Go ahead and get your tickets now, because I think it's only about 5 or 6 of the early bird tickets for $59, an unheard of price. We have Dr. David Anderson. We have, we're gonna make that happen. We have Dr. David Anderson. We have Robert Yancey, who's a beast at what he does. We have Brian Jubert. We have Dr. Nicola Smith-Jackson. Who's going to be talking about credit restoration and all those amazing things that you guys definitely want to hear about. And then you have yours truly. I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship, real estate investing, mindset makeover, the whole thing. So definitely check that out at masterthemoneygameworkshop.com. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Now, you need to tell what to do, get that out of the way. But anyway, so how long have you been working with Chantel?
Since September.
Since September. Oh, okay. Okay, you bought a property already, huh? Oh, okay. You gonna sell it?
No, I'm not gonna sell it.
She's teaching you well.
Yes.
She says she holds on to everything.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. No, that's good stuff. So let's talk about the tax lien process. You talked about due diligence and 400 properties that you have to check out. What is that process like? Like, take us through a little bit of the process, how that all works out. How do you get 400 properties that you have to do due diligence on?
Well, starting off, you're gonna bump your head a lot. So you're not gonna get the whole 400. You're gonna go through like 100, and then you're just gonna keep developing the process over and over. So that's eventually how I got to the process I am now. So I used to go out and do this whole list myself. Because I really didn't realize the real estate community was there for me, you know. So I was really doing this by myself, and so basically you have to do as much due diligence as you can in terms of going to see the property, making sure that the property is actually there, what condition it's in, how much repair you think it may need. And then you have to actually do your research in the office as well in terms of finding out the values and determining what your maximum bid is going to be. And so while that doesn't sound like a lot, when you add the volume, you know, it could be a 30-day to, when you master it, you can get it into 2 weeks. So that's the process.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in the due diligence, so you drive to every single property, is it?
Every single one.
Really?
Real life.
Every
Unless the
single
one that we determine that, like there's some lots that or properties that we may be able to determine ahead of time that are something that we wouldn't want to bid on, then we would take that off the list. But, Glenn, what's going on with you? No, I'm sure that's what it
I've turned that volume down several times. It has a mind of its own.
Silent.
We research all the properties, and the reason is because when you get to auction and you haven't researched properties, your natural inclination is to bid. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to bid on something if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
I see it happen all the time, and I just be like,
We were watching you on live yesterday, and me and my partner, when you heard you say, he shouldn't have bidded on that.
I'm like, do he know what he bidded on?
So tell us about that situation. We talked about it a little bit earlier. So you said the property was landlocked, and is that something that you drove by and saw yourself?
Well, that's something that we can determine ahead of time.
Okay.
So we can use the GIS system to determine if
Okay.
it's landlocked. So we just wouldn't even drive by that.
It's the geographical information system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So a lot of times people don't even know what landlocked means. So landlocked, LOCKED, not lot, LOT, is when a property is surrounded on all sides by another parcel. And so you can't access your parcel because there's no easement. So a lot of times people buy those. So
Wow. Yeah, and in a situation like that, what would somebody do with something like that? Is there anything they can do with that at all?
yeah, it is.
Sell it to one of the other homeowners?
Mostly nobody else is going to want to buy it. That's why they let it go in the first place. But what the biggest thing that you could do is you could take that property and donate it. You could donate it to like an organization. And so let's say you paid $2,500 for the lot and it was worth $150. You could donate it to some type of organization. If it's in a home, you could donate it. If it's in a subdivision, you can donate it back to the homeowners association, and then you can take the write-off for $150.
Wow. That is...
So some people might want to buy those just to do that.
When we going to the next one? I need some more deductions.
So yeah.
Okay, we're gonna edit that part out. But no, that's good stuff. I mean, and that's a lot of times people don't know a lot of the major benefits to doing that, to doing something like that, and that's really a good thing to know. We got some people that are joining us now that I'm able to see them. We got Magic Jones. He said, "What's up, ladies?"
Hey, man.
He said he's got his notepad. She's Nina from San Diego. Hey, Nina.
Hi,
she
Nina.
said she likes y'all shirts. What did
Thank you. They say Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp.
So we talked about the process. Now, we actually also were watching when watching your live yesterday when there was something that said there was a bid that started at $7,000 that got bidded all the way up to $83,000. You recall that one?
Yeah.
I don't remember it personally, but I could probably know the scenario.
Okay. So in a situation like that, how does that bid start at $7,000 to begin with? Just the taxes on it, right?
I'm gonna let one of them answer that.
Yeah.
So it starts off at $7,000 because that would be the back taxes. Whatever taxes are owed is what the starting bid starts at. So if it was $7,000, that's how much hasn't been paid. A lot of times, property could have not been paid for several years. Like it could have been past due taxes from 2011 until now. So that could be that type of scenario. And the reason it could have gotten bid to $83,000 is because it could have been worth $240,000.
Right.
So it gets bid very high, and that's how
So now, if someone pays $80,000 for a $7,000 tax lien, the person that owes the taxes has to pay that $83,000 plus the 20%.
Plus 20%
Wow.
within the first year.
Yeah.
After that 366th day, it goes to 30%.
Wow.
And every year after that, it goes another 10%, 10%.
She got it down, don't she? Wow. So in that case, that means they have to buy the house back.
Pretty much.
Wow. Well, just because they didn't pay their $7,000 tax.
And there's no way around it. They have to go through you to get that property back. They can't go to the county and cut you out. They have to come to you and pay your money.
Wow.
Your percentage.
Wow. So in a scenario like that, so if someone paid that, now if they, of course, they don't redeem after a year, that 366 day,
Right.
then you can do what's called a quiet title, right?
You foreclose on the
Yeah,
rights
the
of
You have to
foreclose.
foreclose. Okay. And then you have to now the quiet title is before that or after that?
Is after the
After that.
foreclosure.
Okay, after the foreclosure. So now when you foreclose, you're just foreclosing on the person whose name is on the deed.
You're
Yeah.
foreclosing on everybody who had an interest in the property's right to redeem, because it's a legal proceeding. So the lawyer will send paperwork out to every person that had an interest in that property, and it give them a certain time frame to be able to respond. And if they don't respond, then they don't have the right to come and redeem that property anymore. So then that gives you the ability to possess it, and you can rent it out and do things like that. You just can't sell it, but you can possess it and you can utilize the property.
Got it. So then at that point you can still well, you can't sell it yet, but you can rent it out.
But you can rent it out.
Got
yeah.
it,
Or
okay.
live in it.
Okay, good stuff. So and then at the point of you wanting to sell it, is that where you have to do the quiet title
Yes.
action?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay.
In order to get a
Warranty deed.
warranty deed
Got
or
it.
a limited. Sometimes you end up with a limited warranty deed, but you still have marketable title.
Good stuff. Okay. And I think I'm at that point. Okay. What states don't have redemption periods?
There are states that there are tax deed states. So where you actually get the deed to the property when you buy it at tax sale. Those states are typically what you purchase the properties for are typically higher. They're usually like a little bit under fair market value. In states where they have redemption periods, like Georgia's was called a redeemable deed state. So we're a tax deed state, but it's redeemable. So there's only like 5 states like that. But the other states are either tax deed states or they're tax lien certificate states, to where you're really just getting the interest. And then after that period, there may be a possibility for you to get the actual property.
Got it. Okay. So is there a way to quiet the title before the redemption period is up?
Technically, no. Not if you purchased it through the tax sale. Now, there's a roundabout ways to do it, but you gotta take a class. You gotta take our class.
Take a class to figure it out.
We're actually having a class this Saturday from 9 to 5. If you guys are interested, the information is right there for you to get that information.
This is time for their commercial, so make sure y'all.
Yeah, visit our
Check it out.
website. Check our website out.
Now, see, we tell people that toward the end so they watch the whole
Right.
show. No, it's good though. We're gonna make sure they get it. But y'all still gotta stick around. Cause
Yeah.
she's
Stick around.
She's
More
still
to
giving
come.
very
Still.
valuable information that you guys definitely don't want to miss. So we were talking about the redeemable states. Now, whether you can actually redeem, where they're non. Let me make sure I say this right. Where there's no redemption period.
Okay, that's a tax deed state.
Tax deed state. Okay. So, and I know Michigan is one of those.
Yes.
Because I was actually doing some stuff with
A lot of
some
those
folks.
states in the Midwest, in that Midwest quadrant, are like that.
Oh, okay. So now, does the person still have an option?
No.
Not at all.
When it goes into the tax sale, it's bought. That's it.
Got it. Okay. So, and I think one other place in the is it North Carolina or South Carolina? One of those ones that are tax deed states.
Yes, they are, but they are. You can buy. Those are states where you have a redemption period.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are tax lien certificate states that you go into the process of where at that time they can redeem or it transfers to a tax deed.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not for sure about North Carolina, but South Carolina is like that. So you can actually buy those. You can actually buy their tax lien certificates while they're actually in their redemption period. So let's say it may start off with a 1-year redemption period, but let's say it may have 2 months left in that. You can buy it at that point, and then you can also buy over the counter. So where they've already expired and nobody purchased them, you can go in and buy those over the counter in South Carolina.
Wow.
So they have a few states like that too. I know Alabama is like that. South Carolina is like that. And, off the top of my head, those are the ones that I know that are like that.
Okay. So, let's see. We are getting back to our connection, and it looks like people are coming back in.
Welcome back.
It looks like we're getting the connection back. Okay. I was trying to look to see if someone else had some questions in here. But what I was going to ask about was the states that some states only have sales. Not every state has a sale every month. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So Georgia is one of the states that has a sale every month.
No.
It doesn't have a sale every month? Oh, okay.
No.
How often does it sell?
How often do they have
From April through December.
Oh,
April,
okay.
December.
Okay. So there's no sale in January.
No, January, February, March, nothing.
Wow. Okay. So March.
And then there's
March
some
is
months
perfect
where
timing then.
Yes.
even if they say it's going to be a sale, they have the right to not have that sale too.
Really? Even during the time that they're supposed to have a
Yeah.
sale?
They reserve the right to not.
Why would they do that?
Sometimes there's just not a lot of properties on the list, so they might combine them on the next month's list, or it can be multiple reasons.
Really?
A lot of times it's because there's a legal process that they have to comply with before they take that property to auction. If they haven't properly completed it, then they have to wait until they, so it may not. And then it costs the counties money to put the tax sale on. So they have to, have a budget for it. And so sometimes they don't.
Okay. That's all it makes sense for them to have as many properties available as possible.
Yes.
Especially if they're paying for the time for the people to be out there doing
Yes.
it. Okay, good stuff. All right, so I am. Okay, now I was getting some other. They be throwing me off sometimes. I got to get used to this being told what to do.
Yes.
Stuff. So let's talk about the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. So when did you guys start that, and how often do you do it?
Well, the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp was started. I have a mentor, Stacy Rossetti, and she asked me to do a tax lien class for her RIA. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And so, I was actually in a mindset of retiring. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to get into that. So she's like, okay, no problem. We'll just keep talking about it. I said, okay. So then I took a class on how to attract private money lenders. And she said, "You remember that class you didn't want to teach?
Right.
That's the way you attract private money lenders." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." You know, I was happy to do it then. So she started with that, and then it was just such a huge interest for the information that, you know, I was like, okay, well,
Can't run from it.
yeah, I'll go ahead and start teaching it. So
From what I remember, there's another class that's going to be happening in March sometime, right?
yes.
That was your plug.
See, that's how you know I learned to do this talk show thing. Set it up, go knock it out.
Yes.
So, but we'll talk about that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
So, in the class, what's offered in the class?
So
Yeah, I know it's $1 million worth of information.
it is.
For
It
a low,
really
low
is.
price.
Yes.
But let's talk about what's offered in the class.
Yes.
What do they learn?
Basically, they have full access to my whole arsenal of knowledge, basically, in that class. That's what you get it when you come to my class. I don't
So the
hold
class is
punches.
$25,000, right?
It should be, because it's 10 years of me bumping my head, putting together a process,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to get, day one is primary theory. They're going to get a complete understanding of how the tax lien process works. And so they're going to understand the laws, what happens next, what happens if this doesn't happen. So that it's a complete understanding. So they're going to learn how to obtain the list, process the list. You know, they're going to understand what they can do with the properties, what they can't do with the properties. You know, they're going to understand what their business strategy would be, whether they want to get the property or get the interest. Because most people don't really look at the other business strategy of getting the interest, which is very viable.
Right, absolutely.
So we go over all of that. It's an in-depth. And day two is actually hands-on experience. Us processing the list, us going out doing the due diligence, going to see the properties, and we actually do an auction as well. So you can get the feel of the pace and how an auction runs. So
Wow.
I mean, after you take the boot camp, you can literally, you know, go and do it. You know, if you're a diligent person. Now, some people need you to hold their hand to help you put that in place, so we offer that as well. So.
That's a little extra, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's really for the time and not so much for the knowledge.
Right.
Because I value my time.
Absolutely. And you should. Those are that offer, the information that we offer. You know, people have to respect the time that we put into bumping our head.
Yes.
You know, because it costs. It costs to bump your head.
Yes.
You know, whether you like it or not, it costs.
So I just want to add something to that. As
Yes,
a student, I've been to other real estate courses and classes and gotten information from other mentors. Chantelle is like everything.
Yeah.
And so you're able to actually learn real life things that's going to help you when you get in those situations. So it's not where she's posturing herself to sell something.
Right.
She's literally I just want you to know so you can be successful.
And it's always easy to work with someone like yourself, you know, when you know they genuinely want to offer people the information. You know, although your information is valuable and the time that you put into learning it is valuable, and people should respect that. You know, what I even from the conversations that we had, what I like about what you do is you're willing to offer information. Like even the information that we're sharing on the show today is probably we probably should be charged. Is there a donate a pay button down there below?
I want my cat.
No, we'll make that happen. But I mean, that's a very important. You know, even offering. I mean, just regular real estate knowledge or any knowledge.
Right.
You know, most people look at they don't look at the value. Oftentimes, you know, they look at people, you know, that they're common with. People get so common with you, and they think that they're supposed to be able to get something from you for nothing. You know, but not realizing what you put into what you do has cost you much time and, you know, pain and headaches and money and all that. You know, so that's to be respected.
Yes.
You know, so
I done been through all kind of foreclosures and everything.
Oh yeah. Right. And that's sometimes when you know when people say, and I, you know, when I talk about my experience in the years that I've been doing real estate investing, you know, first thing I say is, yeah, I've been doing it for however long, but that's the time that I spent in figuring out how not to do it.
Yes.
You know, so that time is very important as well. So in that boot camp, so you said there's one this Saturday?
Yes.
Who said it?
It's not a boot camp. It's actually a webinar, and the webinar
okay.
is really the same as the first day of the boot camp. So it's really just the theory, because I can't, do the hands-on via the webinar, but it's really just the one day for people who just kind of want to get their feet wet and kind of understand. So they will probably still need to take the second day if they want hands-on experience. I recommend that.
Absolutely.
But sometimes people just like, well, I want something. Give me something.
Right.
So that's why we have the webinar set up. So.
Okay. And the webinar, how can they get the webinar?
If you go to GeorgiaTaxLienBootcamp.com or any of our social media pages, the link will be there.
And what's the social media pages?
You gonna do that to me? The social media pages. All our handles is Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. The only one that's different is Twitter, because they don't allow that long handle, which is Georgia Tax Lien BC.
Right.
Good point.
She get it right? What that is about is we actually were talking about how, the millennials, they keep up with all the, the social media stuff. And like sometimes I forgot what my Twitter was too. I just realized the other day. I was logging in. I hadn't logged in so long. I forgot the password. And I realized it's not what I thought it was.
Right.
And I got 5,000 followers on Twitter.
Okay.
I know.
All right. We had to pause. It took me a while to register.
Hold on. See,
I got to get like you.
that piece of the footage might be used as me saying it like I'm confident.
Right.
But this piece of the footage gonna tell the truth. I have no idea how I got 5,000 followers.
The millennials.
Right. Must be. I have no idea how that happened. And my Twitter is actually all of my other social media is Mr. Dollar out of a dime.
Okay.
So the Twitter is Mr. Dollar Dime.
Right.
I'm like, so how did that attract the people to just that?
They find you. If they got one, they know how to find you somewhere else.
Right. And I
like,
probably have tweeted the whole time, maybe, it said like 1,000 times, but I don't remember that. Like,
Oh, yeah, your team.
Yeah.
well, now somebody else has been running my social media, so, maybe that's how it happened.
Yes.
'Cause it wasn't me. But anyway, all right, I'm supposed to tell you guys to go make sure you follow our Real Life Real Estate Investing page, follow our fan page at Real Life Real Estate Investing. Our Instagram is Real Life Real Estate Investing, and something else is Real Life Real Estate Investing.
Right.
The Twitter. See, I'm starting with you with your social media. The Twitter is Google Real Life Real Estate. You'll find it on Twitter. Yeah, that's what it is. But no, we want to make sure you guys follow us on mainly the Instagram and the fan page, because that's where we're going to be showing the show. So I don't want you coming to my page looking for the show like Glenn don't do the show anymore, but it's on Real Life Real Estate Investing, and that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. You might still be able to catch us on my page next week, but after that, we're going to be going over to the Real Life Real Estate Investing fan page and the Real Life Real Estate Investing group. So you might catch me going live inside the group. So I want to make sure you guys are able to connect with us on that. Then again, I'm supposed to tell you about the Master the Money Game event that's happening January 20th, 2018. Of course, there's no January 20th in this year anymore. So it's going to be 2018 from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure you go ahead and register at masterthemoneygameworkshop.com. That's masterthemoneygameworkshop.com. We only have a few early bird tickets. I'm thinking them giveaway tickets. I don't even know if we call them early bird anymore. The early bird tickets are $59. For what you're going to be getting, that's, I can't say the word that I want to say. You know what kind of price that is. That kind of, yeah, it's cheap. Yeah. And don't forget to check out the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. GeorgiaTaxLienBootcamp.com?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure I said that. So we are there, and we're gonna let's see if we can open up for some questions from our audience, and see if they have any questions that will not make us have to send them the PayPal link.
We need a Facebook group, y'all.
So that look, that's the next thing. All right.
We have a page, but we don't have a group.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one you set up.
We do have a meetup group, though.
Oh,
so we are on Meetup.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Meet us on Meetup.
Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't tell me to say that. Why didn't you tell me? We got our people. Meetup is Real Life Real Estate Investing also. Check everything out there.
They find it anyway. They find.
I know.
I put that meetup page up just so I could put up my website and have it linked. And next thing I know, it's like 40 people in the group, and I was like, already?
Right, yeah.
Wait a minute.
I wasn't ready. All right, so I'm looking for questions from our audience, and
I know y'all got questions. I know. I get a million.
Okay, Kimberly Biggs says she needs a one-on-one.
Okay, all right.
Is that a one-on-one for the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp?
Okay,
We
well,
need to make
contact
sure.
us and we can make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. Because my connection isn't too good on this, so I'll be looking
Well,
for
Alexia was kind of giving me the look like I didn't get to introduce myself and tell who I am and what I do.
We did, didn't we do that?
We didn't. We skipped right
So-
over.
I'm just saying, I was getting the eye, so I was like, okay.
Aren't y'all supposed to be telling the talk show host how to do what he's supposed to be doing? I'm sorry, Alexia. Well, you told your story, so that's kind of why I thought that, we're going to do better. You'll forgive us. So tell us who you are, Alexia. We're going to cut this and put this at the beginning of the show.
So I am an intern, right? But the cool thing about being an intern is I get to see all the behind behind the doors, when nobody's looking. I get the nitty gritty. I'm getting coffees, toting bags. But it's a humbling experience too, because while I'm doing all of this, I'm getting so much knowledge. I've made 3 purchases
How long
for
have you been with us?
properties, and I've only been with y'all for like 3 months.
Wow.
3 properties, 3 months.
Yeah, 3 properties, 3 months. So it's rewarding. I get to create my own value. No one can tell me how much I'm worth,
That's
And
good
I
stuff.
learned that from you.
Don't cry on the show.
I'm about to say, don't make me cry. You start crying.
But it's
Anybody got
testimony.
Kleenex
It's
out
a
there?
real true testimony.
It really is. It really is.
And that's good stuff. It's always good to hear stories like that. When people value what you offer them. When people appreciate the time that you put into them, being able to learn what they're learning. And it's. I mean, I'm sure that in and of itself, that sounds like, a very good testimony. And she will probably be loyal to you forever. So
What they not telling you is how hard I am on them. Like I'm a taskmaster.
Y'all can't tell.
I'm a pharaoh.
The smile fools me.
Now that brings me into something else. I said I was gonna tell you about MJ. So we were here setting up everything. We were looking at getting the Wi-Fi password and everything. We needed some things to prop up different things. So MJ gets on the phone and she calls. We need the Wi-Fi password. We got the Wi-Fi password. Password didn't work. She called back. We need the Wi-Fi password. We need a box. We need you to bring us a box so we can prop up.
And we need the Wi-Fi password. like we had asked for that password like 5 times.
But she made sure we got that. She definitely made sure we got that. And that's that's something that is valuable when you have someone like that that will be diligent about getting the task done.
But that's how she trains us to be.
Exactly.
That's good.
We don't
That's
have
good.
a choice.
Exactly.
If they come back to me and say, "Well, I didn't know how to do it," what?
Figure
You
it
didn't
out.
ask. You didn't try to figure it out. You didn't go a step beyond. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell me that.
And that is something that is very valuable. When you have someone that is mentoring you, when they tell you what you need to do, and you understand that the value that they bring to you is not just to teach you how to do tax lien investing, but it's actually a mentor is supposed to help you grow in all areas. You know what I mean? Yes, of course you learn how to do
That's
tax
very
lien
true.
investing.
Yeah,
But it's a responsibility as a mentor to help you grow as a business person, as an individual, because all of those things, even though the intent is just to learn the specific business that you're in, all of that, when it comes from a person that's a real leader, all of their leadership pours over onto you.
Yeah.
you know, and you learn that, and it helps you grow in all those areas.
But what she teaches overall, you can't stop at I don't know.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that spills over into every aspect of your life, whether,
Yes.
whatever it is. So that's
Yeah.
the most important thing.
Figure it out. That's
Right.
Pretty much.
And you know, and it's good that you teach that way, because it's oftentimes you find that that's where people stop.
right.
And if you allow them to say, I don't know, or I didn't get this, so I couldn't do it. Well, what did you do to get it? Like, how diligent were you in trying to get the piece that you needed to complete the puzzle? You know, and oftentimes people think when you tell them stuff like that, it's a blow to their character.
Yes.
But no, this is part of helping you grow.
Right.
You know, because in life, if nobody tells you that and you settle for that, that's how oftentimes people continue to be in their situations. Because they say, oh, I don't know, or, you know, nobody did it for me, so I'm not going to try.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
And that's in the way we have to process that list. It's no room for I don't know.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
forgot.
Right. And you know,
My bad.
I'm having a bad day. Like
right.
I was at none of those excuses.
See, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I hope you guys realize what you have in somebody that teaches you like that.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's very valuable.
They don't like the way I say it though. That's they.
It's
I've become accustomed to it. I just kind of like mirror it back to her so she can kind of hear it.
Yeah, they-
It doesn't bother me anymore.
Like how you played the video back to me. That's what they do. They just try to make sure I hear myself. Like,
Yeah.
this is what it sound like.
But no, I mean, you think about it, because if you don't position yourself to learn from somebody who may have to push you,
Yeah.
if you don't put yourself in a position to allow that, and knowing that that doesn't take anything away from who you are, it helps you grow
Right.
to be who you will eventually become. Because, you know, you don't want to be the person standing in the food stamp line when they say, no, your food stamps ain't coming today. And you ain't got no they ain't got no choice but to accept what they tell you. But if somebody's pushing you into $1 million destiny, what you gonna say? Oh, don't push me so hard.
Exactly.
I'll get to that $1 million later. No,
Some people do that.
I know. But see, and what I say is, I'm gonna push you whether you like it or not.
Right.
The choice is up to you whether you're gonna fly or whether you're gonna fall.
Right.
But I gotta push you.
Yes.
You see, and that's the thing that a lot of times people can appreciate. You know, I had some people that were working with me, and I pushed them probably a little too much.
Push them on out the door.
Push the boat up out of there. But I don't take anything away from them. You know, the only thing I look at is that at that time of where we were, where we are, they weren't ready to be pushed like that. You know what I mean? And they didn't understand the reason behind my pushing them like that. You know, and that happens. You know, so I hope without hard feelings, you know, our separation happened, and you know, eventually I'll see them again, and hopefully they have learned something from, you know, what was given to them. So what I want to say is I'm sorry for the connection interruptions that we had, but I want to make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's what we didn't tell y'all about. They just not telling me that.
Oh yeah, we gotta get to
We got a YouTube too.
Okay, let me get this part out of the way. We're gonna tell them everything about you. We want to make sure we do that. We'll make sure they get to you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find the recap of all of our past shows, interruption free. And we're actually going to be rebroadcasting this one on YouTube, and we're going to reload this one on Facebook as well, because we know we had some connection issues. So definitely check us out. If you missed anything, definitely stay tuned. We'll be posting a link to you again. And how do they get to your YouTube?
It's Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp.
Georgia Tax. It's very easy. Very easy.
Everything is that.
And you keep it simple. That's,
Yes.
you know, when you say it one time, people should pick up on anything.
Yes.
Okay, I am supposed to say we are marketing wholesale deals, or we're looking for wholesale deals, I should say. If you have any leads, make sure you send them to acquisitions@jabriteam.com. And so let's talk about how they can get in contact. Well, I guess we did already. They give them all your social media channels and outlets and all that.
That's okay. We can give them again.
Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
In your personal Facebook?
Well, yeah, my personal Facebook is Chantelle.Owens.Sunshine.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Is it?
That's in it.
Yeah, it's Chantelle.Owens.Sunshine.
Okay.
Okay.
And then also, we are looking for interns. Serious interns.
Only. Because I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that has to be be done
We
every
need
single day.
I need full-time interns. So you gotta be
Full-time
able to
availability.
full-time availability because in order to learn this, that's what you got to do.
What you mean full time? How full?
I need 40 hours a week.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, well,
You need-
Yeah.
I need an extra 40 hours a week.
Yeah, we tried part-time and it goes too slow for the intern. They're not learning as much as they want, and so yeah, and then for me, in order to get this list processed,
You need full-time.
They learning.
yeah, oh they are, but people don't really realize that, they just want to get to the sale and buy a property.
Yeah,
So that's what
They want
the
to get to the
property.
result.
They don't want the knowledge to seep in where they stay with
Exactly.
them. They want you to hit them over the head with a hammer
Right.
where they only stay with them for 5
Right.
minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's how.
And we're trying to build a team so that we can tackle the entirety of Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
So every
yes.
county.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's what we want to do is build a
And
team.
it's going to be
And
beneficial.
everybody
Yeah.
wins. They win, everybody
Absolutely,
wins.
absolutely. So definitely check them out at all their many social media outlets. Is there an email address that they can?
Yes, info at Georgia
Tax
Tax
Lien
Lien
Bootcamp.
We did it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
We ain't practiced that, y'all.
I know, right? That was not scripted. This is live. But that's good stuff, though. So, any parting words you want to say to the folks about your experience with Chantelle and how they can help you guys with what an intern would do if they came to work with you?
I mean, well,
You're gonna be the boss, I know.
Yeah, that's her job.
That's my job. For real. I'm an
Right.
intern coordinator, so I teach the interns. They ride with me. That's how Lacia got it. We work with Jamila. I would say just look forward to obtaining a lot of knowledge. Be ready to take that constructive criticism and know that it's going to push you closer to that end result that you're looking for. I would say that the best, most important thing that I've learned is that hard work really does pay off.
It really does.
And that's really
Yes, that's
the
what it
entirety
is.
of this
Yeah.
internship. Hard work really, really, really does pay off.
Because if you want a great ending, you need to start with a great beginning. You're only gonna get what you put into it. So, if that's what you want, you gotta work hard. And if you want to be an intern with us, you gotta work real hard.
Yeah.
That's
Because
real.
we work hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
We work hard.
Yes. And I want to say, in terms of, like, I hear a lot of people say they want to accomplish some really big things in their life, or they want to do this or they want to do that. And it really requires a commitment, taking that step, and then sometimes it's harder than what you thought, or it's more that's required than what you thought, but just to push past that, because you got to remember your why, what you said you wanted to do before you stepped into this very difficult internship. And it's so worth it because you're going to learn things that you didn't anticipate learning. You're going to stretch beyond your capacity, and it's because you surrender to the whole experience. And it's a reciprocation. You have to give in order to receive. It's not just you coming and you sitting under Chantelle and learning, and she's really
you gonna get put to work.
she generously pours out. But to look at it in terms of really being reciprocally generous, with time, energy, skills, whatever it takes to really help her expand her business and her experience. So
I'm
That's
gonna
what I
also
want to
say that you will be learning as an intern about Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. You'll be learning about tax liens, the process, how to obtain tax lien properties. But you will also be working as property managers. You will be learning about wholesale deals, about excess funds, about a whole bunch of other things on top of tax liens, because it's an exchange for work, for knowledge. So you will be working in every capacity of the business and not just tax liens, which is good because it makes you well-rounded in real estate and opens up your opportunity for not just tax lien properties, but for other aspects and other avenues to make money. So it definitely, it's worth it. I mean,
absolutely.
dreams don't come to those who sleep.
The one
Yeah.
point I want to make sure that's not missed in what you all are saying is that every single one of them have bought a property. So that's the one thing that's key in what she's offering as an intern. So you're not just learning, you actually become a part of what she's doing and being able to do what she teaches. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm actually restructuring that part of the program because I don't want interns to start buying properties too fast and fall into where they're buying properties that they shouldn't have bought. So I really kind of want to like slow that down so that I'm making sure that unless you know how to do the complete due diligence process, you shouldn't be buying a property.
Absolutely.
So until a person learns that, and I have tested and know that they know that, then you know.
But you see what she's doing? She's making sure you don't bump your head.
She's setting you
Right.
up
You know
for
what I'm saying?
success. But she doesn't even have to do that because giving you knowledge really is you paying attention and then setting your own self up for success. But she still goes an extra
Beyond.
mile
Yes.
to make sure that you know you don't fall on your face. So
Now,
that's
the one thing that I want to stress is what MJ said is that it is an exchange for work for knowledge.
Yes.
So you will be working, and it may not always be directly related to tax liens. Because I'm a landlord, I have a rooming house, so you'll be working in all those other aspects. And so, but you'll get that other knowledge in as well. So.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we do the same thing. Property managers.
I need a social media intern. I need an AV intern. I need all kind of interns.
No, that's good. That's real good.
But these positions lead to paid positions.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
just keep that in mind.
Yes.
So MJ, she is a paid employee, and then I'm looking to incorporate them to being paid employees and keep it going. But you will have to start off as an intern because I want to see that people are dedicated
That's real.
before, you know.
Send them out here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we did have one question, and one thing I want to make sure I say again is that we're sorry for the interruptions. We had some technical difficulties with trying to get on the Wi-Fi and all that, but this will be replayed on our YouTube channel, and we will put it back on Facebook for those that missed the opportunity to answer the questions. But we'll make sure Chantelle gets the link to the questions that you guys answer so she can follow up with you and answer those questions. If they get too in depth, you got to come to the boot camp,
Yeah.
and you got to check out.
Come to the boot camp
Yes,
anyway. Yeah, because it's so worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure we don't forget to let you all know that there's going to be a real life real estate investing tax lien bootcamp happening in March, where Chantelle is going to be teaching you all the in-depth information, and it's going to be, we're going to tell them how much it's going to price going to be, because it's going to be a whole lot of stuff that they're going to get. But we'll make sure you guys are updated on that information. You know, we'll share that with you on our page, and we'll be marketing for that pretty soon. It's going to happen in March, so stay tuned for that. We have a question here. Mr. Maverick Robinson says, how could an investor use an unsecured line of credit to purchase tax liens? And is there an advantage to having cash available on hand when starting to invest?
Well, you know what? I'm so grateful for that question because we forgot to mention that we also work with private money lenders to buy our tax liens. So if a person wants to work with us and use their line of credit, we can do that as well. So we do private money. We do mentoring, we do coaching. So like for coaching is for people who already know tax lien investing, but they just want to be able to call me up and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I can help them with that. And then we also do one-on-one training, and we also do small group training as well. So, but the way that he can use a line of credit is that he basically just needs to get the knowledge to understand what he's doing, and he can use that line of credit at the auction.
Got it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So he needs to come check us out, and we'll get him started.
Make sure you check out the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp webinar.
Oh, thank you. And we also do proxy bidding. So proxy bidding is like if you don't want to do all that due diligence, but you want us to bid for you, we'll bid for you as well.
Got it.
Yeah, 4 feet.
4 feet. Absolutely. You know, look, hey, mama need a brand new pair of shoes. All right. I think that's all we have. We haven't gotten a signal on our time, so we're going to keep on going.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So now they telling we got to wrap up. Hey, we'll go all day.
Right.
But again, guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate those of you that are able to get in. We know that we have some technical difficulties, but this is real life real estate investing. And we do this, we bring this to you live so you can get the benefit of the information that we share on this show. But we're definitely going to make sure we recast this or rebroadcast this on the Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So make sure you look out for those. And we thank you all for watching today. We thank our guest, Ms. Chantelle Owens. We thank MJ, Jamila.
Yes.
That's right. I said it right. Alexia.
Yes.
Okay. And Alexia, don't jump on me after the show. We you have a chance to introduce
Trying not to
yourself.
get something.
See, if you nice to me, MJ will be nice to me. She got a gun.
We want to thank you
Hold
for
it.
having us.
Yes.
We
Well,
appreciate
thank you all
that.
for doing this
And we
stuff,
thank
yeah.
your team for all their hard work. So
Yes,
thank
indeed.
you.
Yes, indeed. Derek said, "Look, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make it happen." I said, "Yes,
Yes.
sir." However you want to do it. He said, "I got it. We'll do it." Okay. But listen, I think again, thank you all for doing this. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a guest on the show. And stay tuned next week. They're gonna tell me what we're doing next week. They haven't
Oh,
told
can
me
I say
yet.
one thing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I watched your shows with the teams, and I just absolutely loved all the teams.
Thank you.
That was just really amazing. They all inspired me. I had them like, y'all need to watch the Young Bucks and CJ Burnett, and
Yes,
I was really inspired by Ramon and even Braswell.
Yes,
so
yes.
I thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it was something that we decided to do because we did our team show, which we have to do again because, the first time everybody wasn't there and the second time everybody wasn't there. So we're going to do it again. Make sure everybody there.
Yeah.
But no, it was something that we decided to do because we wanted to talk about how people work together and how things work out when you work together as a team. And a lot of times people miss that. We all sometimes I try to do it on my own. And, although I did well for a while,
You can't scale.
you can't scale. That's right, because there's so many things that you miss
Right.
in trying to go to the next level if you're doing it on your own.
Right.
And the other important thing that we're probably going to work on doing. I just got another idea. Derek, don't look at me crazy when I say this. I want to get the leaders of all the teams that we did on one show together.
Okay.
Because oftentimes what a lot of people do miss is that we work together behind the scenes.
Yes.
Many people don't know that there are things that me and Ramon do together.
Yes.
Me and Ramon, Ron Dimmock and Mike Braswell, a lot of us, we do things together behind the scenes. We're doing something together. And people may not know all of that up
I'm
front.
working with Ramon tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, I definitely want to make sure we do that. They didn't tell me to do that. We want to shout out to Ramon and the Flipology Radio Show,
Yes.
where Chantelle's going to be a guest
Yes.
on tonight.
Yes.
So definitely check out the Flipology Radio Show at flipologyradio.com. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure y'all check that out. And we're going to be checking out all the leaders of the shows that we did before
That's awesome.
to come back on and let's talk about what we talked about. We'll do it all over again. All right? All right. That's our time. Thank you all for watching. We'll check y'all out next week.
Thank you.